Previously on Ballz.
Hello?
Hi, sorry, Dave.
Hi, John.
It's Darren. How's it going, bud?
Hello, Dave.
Can you hear me?
Well, thanks, Darren, yourself.
All right, thank you. Sorry,
Yes,
we didn't even hear your phone ring. You just answered straight away. That's good service for you from the new CEO.
Well, today it's a weekend, so I'm happy to answer my phone.
All right. Absolutely. Or I'll let you know about Irene in just a moment. Dave, nice to catch up with you. Thanks for chatting to us on Ballz Visual Radio this afternoon. And officially now, congratulations are in order.
Yes, thank you. I suppose it was a little bit like the wedding where the minister says to the congregation, anyone got any objections? So you're hoping everyone sticks up their hand at the last minute.
All right, and obviously no one cleared their throat or anything as well. So pretty much that's rubber stamped now. And the CEO of the ICC, with obviously, Dave, a lot of challenges that lie ahead of you in this job.
Well, yes, to a certain extent. I mean, the ICC board has taken on a review of the governance, and with the changing landscape with the T20 domestic leagues all coming in and now competing for space on the calendar with the international matches, I suppose those are the two main challenges. But from an operational point of view, it's pretty much business as normal. We've got a 19 World Cup coming up in August in Australia, World 2020. A day-to-day management point of view, it's business as usual.
All right, I actually we caught up on day before yesterday in Durban with a guy who was there with you, and obviously you'll know him very well, also a fellow wicketkeeper from South Africa, Errol Stewart, and we were sort of asking him about sort of the workings inside at the ICC and what's going on there. And one of the things that came out is that obviously from a technology point of view, cricket has led the way, where maybe soccer is trailing behind in terms of embracing technology and letting it lead to better outcomes in not only situations in games but results overall. Well,
definitely. I mean, I think we've tried to embrace technology while still trying to make sure that the role of the on-field umpire is not diminished. So that's why we've gone the route of letting him make the first decision, and only if the players think there's a mistake, then reverting to the technology. And over the years, I think the technology itself has improved, and it's improving all the time. And we're now at a stage where, yes, we can improve the decision making by almost 4 percentage points. Taking it from a very acceptable 94, 95% up to 98, 99%.
And obviously, when you talk about percentages like that, it's you will never ever get the human element to be that accurate. So even if people say yes, it's not 100% foolproof, and it does have a margin of error, that margin of error is so small that's got to be the way to go, and that is possible. That is the best way to get the decision. Of course, you're talking about this in terms of things like Hawkeye for LBW decisions and things like that as well.
Yes. Well, the two main technologies are the ball tracking technology, which is there's Hawkeye and there's Virtual Eye, which they use in New Zealand and Australia. Hawkeye is the one that we probably know best from tennis as well. That's the one we use for ball tracking. And then the other one is the hotspot cameras, which initially they weren't as sensitive as probably we would have liked, or that even hotspot the supplier wouldn't have liked. But he's bought new cameras, he's developed them better, and now they're really picking up the faintest of brushes on the gloves and on the edges of the bat. So really, we're getting to that stage where, okay, they're going to be the odd decision where we can't tell for sure, but they are few and far between.
One of the countries that has been reluctant to embrace this has been India, and because obviously it's been detrimental to them in circumstances as well, but I think the stance there is probably, well, it all averages out, as cricket has always done over the years. It averages out 50-50, but one result might be different on one day to another day. It might be advantageous to you on one day, and another day it might not be. It doesn't necessarily mean you get the best outcome in a tournament or a series, maybe. What is the latest stance as far as India goes with technology?
Well, they're not against technology as such, but they say that they just want to be more satisfied that it is accurate and can give us conclusive answers on more occasions than it has done in the past. So we think we're getting there. But probably it's best not to take anyone kicking and screaming to the party or whatever it is, because then they are reluctant guests and may leave at the drop of a hat. So, I'm pretty happy that the majority of boards, majority of umpires, majority of players now all see the benefits of using technology in this way. But let's not force anyone into it, and let them take their time and come to it in due course.
Does it make any difference, Dave, if the fact that India are the most powerful cricketing nation in the world, that they kind of have more leeway to make decisions for themselves as opposed to going along with all the other countries in the world? Would it be easier if it was a country that wasn't as powerful in world cricket?
Well, I mean, I'm not in theory, probably yes. The reality is, though, that you need to change anything, you need 7 full members. So if India want to have got a different view, they need the support of at least 6 others. And then whilst there's a little bit of skepticism around really on the reliability of the technology, as I say, it's our job now to make it even more accurate and more reliable than it was before. And I think then people will willingly come to the party, and then everyone will be happy.
All right. Just one other question on obviously the road ahead, and the other big issue around the world at the moment is that there are still areas of cricket where the betting side, and it will probably always be there, but obviously that can mean that sometimes it can get out of control. In certain parts, is that something that is a priority on the list, on your list of sort of things to do and things to try and get sorted out? I don't know if we'll ever be able to eradicate it completely, but on the whole issue of match fixing and spot betting and stuff like that.
Most definitely a big priority. As you say, I'm not so sure that we'll ever rid the cricket world of corruptors and people who will be trying to prey on young cricketers and get them involved. So it's pretty much, I think, an ongoing fight. What we're seeing recently is that because the international players are well educated and are well policed, our anti-corruption people are always around international matches warning players that there are shady-looking bookmakers in the vicinity, etc. Because the international cricket is becoming more difficult for them to get their hands on this, they're now moving to televised domestic matches. So that's the risk has shifted in that regard. And so the focus is now on member countries all putting in place their own domestic anti-corruption codes, their own anti-corruption units, and spreading the protection, the wall of protection, I suppose you can call it that, across the board, even into member countries' own domestic competitions.
All right, yeah, because obviously it's I think any scenario in cricket lends itself to that. So it's not just at an international level, and maybe sometimes domestic cricket does slip under the radar. So that is a big point. All right, well, you said it is the weekend. Let's get off the issue of work. How does Dave Richardson finally spend a weekend in Dubai?
Well, it's about 39 degrees Celsius at the moment. But there's a slight breeze, so we're out on the golf course at the moment. I'm not actually playing, but just at the golf club, hitting a few balls and passing time. Golf definitely keeps me sane in this part of the world. And, yeah, you could be in worse places. Some very nice courses.
Yeah, they look absolutely fantastic. Never been there. And do you hook up with a big South African community over there? I mean, there are quite a few that are busy doing various things in Dubai. Do you spend a lot of time with the South Africans there? We're always traveling a bit, so not as much as I would have, I suppose, liked. But as you say, there's a good 40,000 South Africans in Dubai. Vince van der Bell, of course, is here, so we spend quite a bit of time with them. But no, you can't go many places without bumping into a South African or two. So it is home away from home. Awesome stuff. Well, Dave, enjoy your weekend, and once again, congratulations. Thanks very much for joining us and chatting to us on Ballz Visual Radio this afternoon. Good luck with the new gig.
Thank you, Darren. My pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Bye-bye. There we go. That's Dave Richardson, new CEO. So that answers our question, whatever the hell happened to Vince van der Bijl?
Yeah, now let me tell you what happened with Vince van der Bijl.
I didn't even know he was in Dubai.
Yeah, he emailed me. I got an email, emailed him to set up an interview. And he's actually said that he doesn't want to do any interviews until 2014. So I'm not sure exactly what.
We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Mondays to Fridays live on Ballz.co.za. Ballz.co.za.